that's one of the big ways we built a lot of relationships was.
So the big question is, what are top agents doing to absolutely crush it in real estate? To get the answers, we interview the top real estate agents to learn their secrets to success. If you would like one-on-one access to over 26 of the top agents in the country to help you scale your business, then head over to eliteagentsecrets.com/partner, or you can just click the link in the description below. My name is Andrew Dunn.
And my name is Peter Michael. Welcome to Elite Agent Secrets.
Hey everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Elite Agent Secrets show. Today we are joined by Andrew Jacobs. His family's been in real estate for over 30 years. He's top 1% nationwide and also the winner of the Books Happening 2020 for Best Real Estate Team. He's also did in 2021 over 70 deals. So he's going to be discussing the go-giver attitude, education, and finding your lane and staying in it. Andrew, first of all, fantastic name. And thank you for joining us on the show today. How you doing, my man?
It's a strong name. Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here and talk about real estate, doing it the right way. But yeah, I'm really grateful to be thought of and to share ideas with you guys.
Do you go by Drew by any chance?
I don't. Andrew, yeah.
I was just trying to figure out and distinguish because it seems like every Andrew that I know, especially the one that's our co-host here, he hates Drew. So today we'll call him Drew and we'll call you
God,
Andrew.
you should not have told me that. I'm calling him Drew only ever. Oh my God, that's amazing. Okay.
I shouldn't have to change my name. It's
yeah.
That's okay. We have to be nice to our guests, as we start drilling you and diving into your topics, figuring out what lane you're actually in.
Yeah,
I'm going to call him Drew UK. That's what I'm going to call him just to piss him off. He rolled his eyes, which means he hates it. So I'm going to roll with this for sure.
Where in the UK are you from, Drew?
Yes.
No one on this show by that name. No idea what you're talking about. To be fair, it's totally American. I've never heard an Andrew be called Drew before. It's usually Andy. But I'm northeast at the moment. I'm just south of Scotland, actually, so I'm very north. I live in the middle of a national park. So,
you do. Okay.
I'm proper country at the moment, so a bit of a change from the somewhat usual background of New York. But
I have friends in Exeter, and then the other side, Blackpool, rough area.
Yeah, opposite end. That is a shithole. Everyone,
it's
everyone just imagine that is a dive. So take us back. Family's been in real estate 30 years. You've been in this gig for a little while. So take us back to, have you been in 30 years and take us back to kind of day one? Why the hell did you get into real estate? And take us on a bit of a journey to, of your real estate career.
Yeah, it's a fun story. I was a musician, so, nothing to do with real estate. And then I ended up working in New York City at a music company. And so it was corporate, sort of, and I was working on Spotify accounts, if you've heard of that. And so I was commuting every day back and forth, hour and a half in, hour and a half out into New Jersey. So it was tough. And my family had always been in real estate and had done well, but they always said you're not allowed to do it because it's too stressful. So I had worked as a teenager in the real estate office and I knew about it, but I was pursuing music and corporate world and trying to figure out what my life was going to be. My wife was a school teacher, getting up super early. And she had a great job and I had a great job, but something was missing. We didn't feel totally fulfilled. And there was a ceiling on both of our paths. So we started. Basically, we put pen to paper. We did an exercise that I think everybody should do in their lives where we wrote down a dream. We just said, hey, what do we want? And so some things we came up with were we want a flexible schedule. We want a commission-based job instead of a salary because we felt we were worth more than we were being paid. We wanted fulfillment and actually making a difference in the world in meaningful ways and some type of career that would have that. She had that already being a teacher, but I didn't. And we wanted to work together. So we just really, and then we picked an area too. We fell in love with Bucks County, Pennsylvania. And right over the river is Mercer County, New Jersey. And, we're licensed in both states, which it's a great place to do real estate when you're right on the river and you can do both sides. a lot of times we will sell somebody's home in New Jersey and move them to PA or vice versa. So it's a really nice thing to be dual licensed. I recommend any agent, if you're near a border, get the license in the other state. So we put pen to paper and dreamed. And one day we just said, you know what? What's the worst that can happen? And we played that game in our relationship a lot. What's the worst case scenario? Okay, it doesn't work out and I'll go be a waiter or something. Okay, that's not so bad. Did anyone die? Did anyone get sick? No? Okay, so let's just give this a shot. So we both quit our jobs. And I got licensed in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. She got licensed in Pennsylvania. We moved. We didn't join our family's business. We wanted to build our own thing. This was about 8 years ago. And year after year, we didn't know anybody. We didn't have a dentist. We didn't have a gas station we go to, like nothing. We just grinded and met people. And again, my family had told us not to do it because it's too stressful, but we felt we could do it in a different way. And so yeah, quit our jobs and made this happen. And year after year, grinded, and now we're running a team. So we can talk about some of the strategies that made that happen. But yeah, you have to take risks. And I'm not naive to say that everybody can just do that. Some people already have kids and families, and they can't just pick up and move and start a new career. So, or somebody might be part-time in real estate and, trying to make ends meet. So we had some savings from our previous job. So we had some luxuries that we could make that move. And I know that not everybody can do something like that, but we did and worked it out every year.
So just to recap, just so I understand, because there has to be when you get to know me, I have a few screws loose upstairs, but that even to me seems fucked up. It's like, let me get this straight. And trust me, I do some messed up shit. And that's something I'd be like, I'd want to do just to prove that I could do it. But just to recap, so I understand I'm listening correct. You and your wife sat down, you both quit your jobs, and then you moved to a different place so you don't know anybody. Mm-hmm. And your own family who does real estate is telling you not to do this.
Yes.
Genuine psychopaths. That is absolutely fantastic. I cannot believe that. Good for you.
I want to refute what you said, but that's actually what happened. We were in New Jersey in the commuter area, hustle and bustle, congestion. We wanted to build a family. We wanted new careers. And the only way to do something is do it big. And so we ripped off the Band-Aid. And wow,
good for you. That's awesome.
So we lived off savings, and Gina took side jobs nannying, and we started to learn the new area. We just went for this dream. We played the game. What's the worst that can happen? And we figured that the worst wasn't that bad. So there's a very good chance this didn't work out, and we came back to Jersey and fell back on everything else. But but we bet on ourselves, and also we again looked at this dream. We wrote it down and actually looked at the page and said, what career could help us achieve these dreams that we want? Flexible schedules, unlimited income, fulfillment, different things. That's real estate.
Yeah.
And I called my family and said, we made a list. This is what you do, isn't it? And they said, well, yeah, actually that all makes sense. I said, all right, well, we're just going to do it without the stress. That's the goal.
Hey, I just wanted to jump in here and let you know, if you would like access to over 26 of the top agents in the country to help you scale your business, then head over to eliteagentsecrets.com/partner, or you can just click the link in the description below. Now back to the show.
Well, normally Drew from the UK does this, but I'm going to take the first time I've ever done this. And we're going to go into your first topic. I stole Andrew's thunder because he wants me to talk a little bit more. So careful what you wish for. Obviously, that goes with the go-giver attitude, right? You know what I mean? Like, that's huge. So sorry, Drew, UK, I stole your thunder.
Before we're going to start calling him Andy. That's another favorite one of his.
Well, this is the worst podcast ever. We're not airing this one. All the audience, you're never going to hear this show. It's fucking bullshit. So, to do this correctly, Andrew, your first secret to success is a go-giver attitude. So, explain to us a little bit more.
Sure. Well, I didn't. Yeah, Drew. So, and first of all, the other thing about Andy is that's what older people will call Andrews. That's where Andy comes from. Okay. So. I didn't make that up. Go Giver. It's a book. So everybody should check that out. I think you guys have mentioned it once or twice on the podcast.
I've got it. It's one of my favorite books. It's literally staring at me over there. It's one of my favorite books. So simple, tiny book as well.
It's
really
simple. The problem with the go-giver is when you're starting out and you don't have a lot of business, it feels very like, oh, just change your mindset and things will happen. And that's always frustrating to hear because, people, you want a specific action. Hey, go pick up the phone and do X, Y, Z and you'll get a deal. And that's not really how a go-giver book reads. It's more of a mindset. So that was frustrating early on. But when I adopted that mindset of, so suppose somebody walks into an open house and you're meeting them. If your mind is set on getting that client or getting the sale or something, they will smell that. They know that. And already the relationship is strained where you're here and they're there and you're selling them a car and they don't want any part of it. And when your mind flips, and it sounds so pie in the sky, but when your mind flips to how can I give these people value that they didn't walk in with? So now they walk in the house. You can tell pretty quickly if someone likes the house or not, probably 5 seconds, and it's not for them. And so then the next step is, okay, how can I transport myself out of my body? Forget that I'm here. I'm not important. It's how do we help these people? Put yourselves in their mind. They're looking for a house for maybe 6 months and they have a couple kids hanging on their legs and they're frustrated and they're going to open house. What would help them? I think what would help them is a realtor giving them a sheet of paper saying, hey, did you see these other 3 in the neighborhood? Have you seen those? They're not doing open houses, but they're for sale or they're going for sale. Or I heard about this one going for sale next week. So now I'm giving them value that they didn't know. And I'll say, give me a call. And I can show you those houses, but tell me a little bit more about what you're looking for. Oh, really? That price range, this neighborhood's going up and you might be priced out. You're kind of at the max. Have you thought about X neighborhood or Y neighborhood? Or have you thought about a town over? Do you need to stay in these schools? I'm trying to learn about them to give them value. And that's one of the big ways we built a lot of relationships was being different than every other realtor that people would meet because every realtor's trying to get something. And we were more trying to learn about them and then figuring out how we can give them value. And it sounds too easy, but it really, 90% of realtors try to get things or try to sell things. When you're the 10% that's trying to give, you're going to stand out. And it worked. I flipped the mindset and it really, really worked.
It's interesting that you're saying that because I just hosted an open house. And one of the things that I do at my open houses, and I just literally started doing this because the property that I was hosting an open house it's an acquired taste, right? It's a specific product for a very specific client. So it's not appealing to the masses, which is okay. Nothing wrong with that. But what I did is on the wall, I have pending, actives, and closed properties that are super close by. So one, I can give them the idea of why I priced the property the way I priced it, right? To kind of get that, because people sometimes think, the price is high because I have a feedback form. And on the feedback form, people say price, like 1 out of 5, meaning shitty, right? And I'm like, well, look at all these other properties that are literally in this neighborhood and I can point to the houses and look what they sold for last month, right? So then I can get the conversation going to figure out where they are in the business.
I really like that idea, putting the wall up. I mean, again, that you're thinking about what would enhance their experience or what are they looking for, and that's the way to do it. And again, it's just a mindset, but it's really that simple. When you flip that switch, we need to stop treating people like they're stupid or like that you can get one over on them or something, or you can win their business by saying the right thing. And I have a script and all that. I throw all that out the window. I don't like the fluff. I don't like any of these tactics. Simply put, I become them. I'm walking in an open house. What do I want when I walk into an open house? I want to be left alone. I want to be left the hell alone. Don't talk to me. I'm going to look at the house and I'm going to leave. I don't want to be sold. I don't want a flyer with your face on it. I don't want, all this stuff. So what we started doing was, we have music, like just talking about open houses for a second. We have music, we have cookies, we make it a nice experience. And when people come in, I don't bother them. We have data on the neighborhood, different things, but just let them look and then they will gravitate towards you. That's a much better way because the other 3 open houses they went to that day, the realtor walked right up to them, shook their hand, gave them a card and did all this salesy stuff. We didn't, and we stood out. And it's really that simple. It's just don't treat them like they're stupid and pretend you're them. What do you want? You want to be left alone, or you want to be told something that will enhance your experience or something that will give you value. And if I'm looking for houses and you told me about 2 more for sale that I didn't know about, you just got value and you're going to get a call.
Well, and that's exactly right. Like the one that's in the middle, it says active listings or coming soon. And I literally will tell them, send them, or give them the sheet along with the MLS sheet of our property. That's literally, I clip them. So I typically have the MLS sheet. Then I have the list of upgrades if there have been done any for the property. And then third, but not least, I give them the actual other comps.
That's a great idea
to send them to.
That's a great idea. And the other open houses they went to didn't do that. And that's why you'll stand out.
The one thing that I did that I added at the end of mine too, that I really liked, was I asked them when they come in to engage them right at the gates. I'm like, hey, I'm going to let you guys kind of go around. So I'm the same way. It's like, I don't want to be, you know what I mean? I put myself there, but to get people, because a lot of people sometimes don't want to talk and they kind of leave. And if you're not really structured to know how to dive into asking for feedback. So I'm like, hey, just so you know, I asked this of everybody coming in. I'd love to know 3 pros and 3 cons of the home for whenever you leave. And then I ask them that. And then normally the wife smiles because she's like, I got to give my feedback and not get in trouble or whatever it is, right? Like, I don't like the drapes, or I don't like they go around, and it's amazing. And it's the dialogue that it opens up, because what it does is it incorporates with what you do, Andrew and Peter, is you have these sheets there, but then you're like, well, you know what? It's not quite big enough. But if you have an arsenal and if you come prepared, well, this house is 1,300 square feet. Well, this one's 1,600. So by me asking that and training my team to do that has been a big game changer for us, because even people that are shy at open houses, you've set the tone from the beginning that you're going to be asking 3 pros and 3 cons at the end. So people are also looking for what they like and don't like to come and give you that feedback, because people naturally love to give their feedback. So that's helped me. That's helped myself and my team out a lot too.
Yeah, I love that. It's all about just engaging in dialogue and trying to help people. And that's the go-giver attitude. That was a topic I wanted to talk about today. There's more to that, but basically it's whenever you're doing anything, are you trying to get or are you trying to give? And whenever it's trying to get, it's the wrong answer.
In that book, the one, for those that haven't read, there's basically 5 laws. That's kind of what it talks about. And the 5th one is the one that I've always struggled with. And the 5th one is the law of reciprocity, for those that haven't read it, which is essentially being able to receive from others. Because most people that go and give, like without any expectation of return, are shit receivers. Like if someone goes, hey, I want to give you this, they're like, oh, like, I don't know what to do. Like it's awkward for them because they're just out and out like, hey, I'm going to give. And then in the book, it talks about like, be open to receiving and be grateful for it, because because the nature of like us being out there and giving so much, it makes us shit receivers. And like, it's something you should work on, being like, it's not that you're ungrateful. It's just, you don't know how to deal with it. Right. And it's like, you should be open to people going, hey, I want to do something back for you. And I think that's where a lot of growth comes from. Right. Like even in a business sense, like just people wanting to help you grow your business. And you're like, why do you want to help me? And they're like, dude, you've been fucking awesome. Like, why wouldn't I want to help you? You know? Right. And that's that bit that like blows our mind, because we just do it so naturally. Like we just go out and we're just like, take, oh, give. And then when people give back, we're like, this is weird.
Well, it's been big too. Like truthfully, my therapist had helped me. So like 10 years ago, I was just my relationships weren't working. I'm going to be completely candid on this thing. And that's exactly it. Because I would give and give and give. And then my therapist really, at the time, I have a different one now, really hit the nail on the head for me, because at the time he said, he's like, how good do you feel doing things for other people? I'm like, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's like, I love doing that. And he's like, you realize that all your family, friends, and the relationships that you're in, by you not receiving, you're actually depriving them of the joy to be able to help you. And that really resonated with me huge, because it's like the girls that you're dating, because you're like, no, I'll just do it. And I'll just like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to bother you. It's like that joy you're feeling, you're robbing other people from that. And that to me was a complete game changer for me and for my life. It's been some of the best advice I ever had.
Wow, that is really nice.
Thanks for listening to this episode. If you would like one-on-one access to over 26 of the top agents in the country to help you scale your business, then head over to eliteagentsecrets.com/partner, or you can just click the link in the description below.